What is up, Horde? It is me, CamoZombie15, and if you guys remember a couple days ago, I covered the topic of Scott Cawthon fighting off Twitter with his based views and ideals, which he stood true to. Now, it wasn't so much what he was standing for, but more so that he wouldn't back down. And I think that's what a lot of people were proud of. This guy could have just easily pandered to the audience and said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'll do better." But no, he stood true to his ideals, he gave reasons, and here we are now, a few days later. He won that battle. Trust me, you'd be hard pressed to find anyone who said that he didn't win against Twitter, alright? So, what now? What is there possibly what is there possibly to talk about now that he's won? Well, he just retired. Scott Cawthon just retired a few days after probably one of the biggest W's the internet has ever seen. And yeah, he has a post about it, so I'm gonna read it to you guys, but damn, I saw this and I was like, and so far so good for Twitter. They've been mostly supportive. I've seen two negative things in the sea, and I mean the sea of just endless love and support for this guy. Trust me, as much of a shithole as Twitter is, they know when to, call it quits and say, all right, we get it. He is based. Now, let's go into the meat and potatoes, alright? So, his retirement photo or whatever, I'm gonna put it up on screen. There's a nice little drawing of, I assume, Ennard with the Sans eye. It's like an Ennard Mangle thing? I'm gonna say Ennard, but it's by an unnamed 8-year-old. And, yeah, let's start off. Before I say anything else, check out this awesome piece of fan art. Pretty amazing stuff, right? I have boxes and boxes of artwork like this from fans that I've saved over the years. I've tried to answer as many letters as I could, and I apologize to anyone that I missed somehow. Someday, when I have a bigger living room, maybe I'll make a giant collage of all the fan art I've collected. Stuff like this has made it all worthwhile to me over the last 7 years. Now, first off, I'd like to apologize. I'm having trouble reading it because this is very saddening to me. As much as it is just a game, this guy kind of shaped a lot of people's childhoods with these games, so... Next paragraph. I've had a blessed, fulfilling, and rich career. I've been shown great kindness, and I've tried to show great kindness in return. I've tried to make some good games, let the debate ensue, and I witnessed the creation of possibly the most creative and talented fan base on the planet. Honestly, yeah, it's one of them. Sure, it did have that era where people were really cringy with it, but that happens with every game. It happened with Undertale, it happened with FNAF, it happened with Friday Night Funkin'. I don't even want to touch what's happening with Friday Night Funkin'. I love the game, but I don't know, it's just getting worse and worse in terms of the community. But I digress. The games are all still pretty good. And honestly, yeah, if you think about all the fan games and stuff that came out because of FNAF and just the ambiance of it, it really is something interesting. So many games like this came out, it's incredible. He kind of made this genre of games that weren't really here before. I don't even know what you would call it, but yeah. Anyways, next paragraph. But here, the 7th anniversary of the first game's trailer. God damn, that was a long time ago. As I realized that I was in my mid-30s when I created the series, and now I'm approaching my mid-40s, I realized that I missed a lot of things that I'd go to focus on before FNAF became such a success. I missed making games for my kids. I missed doing it just for fun. I miss making RPGs even though I stink at it. All of it's to say that I am retiring. I have been shown tremendous love and support over this last week, a lot of which has come from the LGBTQ community. The kindness shown to me has been surreal. Now, I don't know about you guys, but yeah, he's not that great at making RPGs. But regardless, I still loved FNAF World. And I honestly really like FNAF a lot. It's a really good game. But I hope he finds something better to do than just making FNAF all day, because I can understand how that would get tiring really quick. So I wonder what he's gonna do next, honestly. Like, if he's not gonna do FNAF, I wonder what games he'll make. And I wonder if he'll let other people play those games, you know? And Scott, if you're listening and you ever make a new game, you know, hit me up, I'll play it for you. Is this the ending of Five Nights at Freddy's? No. This just means that someone else will be eventually running the show. God, please let it be Markiplier. Scott, make it Markiplier. Someone of my choosing and someone that I trust. We will have to wait and see how that all plays out, but an announcement will be made at some point. So that's up for speculation. I obviously threw who I think would be the perfect fit for that in the ring, because if you really look at it, Markiplier was like one of the best people to play Five Nights at Freddy's. Like, if you look at his videos, I think the FNAF video is one of his like most viewed videos. The last time I checked, which was about last year, it was at about 85 million, so it'll probably be a bigger number when I go to check when I'm editing. But anyways, I have 6 kids now, although one of them is currently the size of a blueberry, and I love them dearly. They are my whole world and my whole universe. I want to focus my attention on them, focus on protecting them, and spend my time making things for them. I only ask that my fan base respect my decision. I will still be around, just not in the capacity that I used to be. What a blessed career I had. What wonderful people I've met. And what a tremendous blessing to have been able to know all of you. Thank you so much. See you on the flip side. Ugh. Damn it, Scott. You know, you're tugging on all the heartstrings over here. Oh man, that last paragraph always gives me chills when it comes to this guy. And the 2 that I've read of his, that last one always just gives me that rush. And you know what? I hope we all respect his decision. You know, it's a great thing, and it's a beautiful thing for him to have this amazing career and to end it on such a high note. I couldn't think of a better way to go out, honestly. Beating Twitter. Like, that's one of the hardest things to do, honestly. And he's done it. There's not much else to do once you've hit the top. Only go down. And I guess he realized that. So, you know, personally, this just... it feels like it was obvious and it was gonna happen. I think we all just wished it wasn't gonna happen. But I'm glad it did. I'm glad he's finally able to hand it off to someone else and enjoy his life. You know, this might be a new franchise, you know, like one of the big indie horror games, like even just the indie game in general. Like, you look at things like Minecraft, Terraria, like, you know, Five Nights at Freddy's is up there with them. Like, hey, they made it to Hot Topic. How many indie games do you see at Hot Topic nowadays, right? So, I'm just at a loss. Like, let's see, I have a few things. Like, I have one thing from Kellen Goff. If you don't know who that is, that's the guy who voiced Funtime Freddy in Sister Location. He said, "You believed in me. You gave me my shot and let me do it on my own terms. I wouldn't be here where I am today without you. Thank you for all the years. It was a fun time." Haha, I get it, because Funtime Freddy. Oh, man. I don't know what to say. Like, I honestly don't know what to say. It just, ooh. The impact this guy had on so many people really just shines through when you stop and think about it, which is why it hits so hard. Like, if you think about it, this guy has probably shaped the majority of people's lives from this point. Like, you look at FNAF YouTubers, you look at people who played FNAF, like, you think about it, everything, the good and the bad, right? The cringy, the weird shit, everything, and you put it into one bottle. You still have more good than you did bad. Like, sure, there might be a weird aftertaste here and there, but honestly, one of the most enjoyable experiences I've had in a while. And to think this came out 7 years ago when I was still kind of young, dude. Man, time does fly. It really does just kind of show you how much of an impact these games have. Like, games don't usually last 7 years unless they're really, really good. Games don't get this kind of love and affection like this unless they're really, really good. You look at a lot of the indie games that just die off in popularity after a couple days. Bendy and the Ink Machine, Tattletale, you know, horror games like that popped up right after FNAF. You know, it just, those ones didn't last for other reasons, you know. And look at the most common, you know, looking point or viewpoint. Yandere Dev versus Scott Cawthon. Now, no disrespect to Yandere Dev, but they both went down very different paths, and I'll leave it at that. I believe everybody at this point knows the story of Yandere Dev and Scott Cawthon, and we can all agree that Scott Cawthon did a little bit of a better job at the end of the day. Now, Scott, I don't know if you're watching this one. I don't even know if you watched the first one, but if you're watching this one, thank you. I think I'm speaking for the majority of the FNAF fan base when I say thank you. Thank you for everything. And please, you know, oh, if not Markiplier, maybe MatPat, you know, but yeah, that's gonna wrap it up for me today, guys. Be sure to like, comment, and sub, you know, all that YouTuber generic BS, but more importantly, stay hydrated. It's pretty hot out there, or cold. I don't know when you're watching this. Maybe it's a mild, humid day, you know, maybe you're gonna freeze your balls off out there, but whatever it is, be sure to stay safe. Peace. ダメだね、ダメよ、ダメなのよ。あんたが好きで好きすぎて、どれだけ強いお酒でも歪まない思い出がバカみたい。